similar. By the survey, I think it's conducted by niche. So they survey the high school students, okay, what kind of major you want to study or pursue in college. So more than 20% or even 30% show they're interested in biology, because there's so many different biology majors as a parents, if you ever interested in applying pre-med track. So there's molecular biology, there's public health, there's marine biology like UCSD, there's a regular biology, there's biochemistry, there's so many different majors, there's also bioengineering. So all the health related major or bio-related major, that's ranked number one before they enter into high school or college. But by the time they graduate from college, if you look into the data, like Department of Education in the United States, so you will find a very interesting fun fact. So business major is the most popular graduate major. So what happened? As a student who studied business in undergrad and grad school, I minored business when I was in University of Washington, Seattle, many years ago. And then my first graduate degree is business, but not like MBA, but half my class are MBA. So, and then my second graduate degree, which is education. So 1/3 of my class actually taught by UPenn Wharton School of Business MBA program professors. So, and then I think my class was about 50 people during my second graduate degree. About 1/3 of them from Wharton MBA program, which is number one United States. So that's something my experience related to the business. Even now I'm a college counselor myself, but there's a lot of business function I work with. So business is some major, just put in simple ways. It's very easy to graduate. So if the student can fill the business major in college, if they get in, normally it's because they are lazy. Because there's nothing as hard as like any STEM major if you don't know if you're not good at calculus, linear algebra, or like a coding, or like physics courses, you can fail the class. For business, it's all common sense. As long as you can write, you can read, you'll be good. It's nothing hard. But like that's the problem. A lot of parents, they don't like business major because they feel like, okay, what can you learn from business major, right? They feel like, oh, my kids should study bio, chem, physics, applied math, those hard majors when they are undergrad. That's one train of thought from a lot of parents. But some parents, they also believe, okay, my kid is interested in business. They show they're interested in business for a long time ago. So we should support them to study business. So there's all different parents, they have a different perspective of business. But for today's purpose, I'm only going to focus with the business major alone. And then feel free to ask questions in the chat. So let me show you one examples. Wharton, okay, that's arguably the number one undergraduate business program for many years. So it's very hard to get into. First of all, it's one of the Ivy League school. UPenn itself is already hard, and then if you talk about Wharton, it's even more difficult to get in. And for UPenn's program, it is very challenging to transfer into the program, even 4 or 5 years ago. So basically, if you didn't get into Wharton, you want to transfer, good luck. It's very limited spot. Or they don't let you. They can let you to study some courses at Wharton because Wharton is very popular. So most people get into Penn actually aim for Wharton. Same thing happened to NYU Stern, and then UC Berkeley Haas, and the U Michigan Ross School of Business. So those schools, it's very selective. Like a lot of parents feel like computer science is selective, but when it comes to business, those programs I just mentioned, are also very super selective. Let me show you the different divisions by as business. So as you can see on the screen, there's accounting, very popular major. Artificial intelligence for business, I think that's one of the first school offer this program. And then behavioral economics. And then BA, this major is popular for quite a while. It's combined business knowledge and the data analytics skills. And then the business, econ, public health, entrepreneurship, this one's pretty popular. And then this is pretty unique for Wharton. Finance, I think every business school has finance. But you guys should remember, the finance here doesn't guarantee you get into investment banking. That's different stories. So in another 10 minutes, when Dyson came in to join the webinar, he will give you guys a better picture. What kind of talent are the investment banking are seeking for? Because investment banking is very different from regular bank. So they pay very well, which means their spot is very limited, super selective. Sometimes it doesn't matter about your major. If you graduate from Princeton, you major in English, maybe like actually you're gonna have a better chance getting investment banking than you graduate from Let's see, University of San Francisco, you major in finance, your chance will be better, even though the major are very different. Okay. And then finance, healthcare, this is special, leading cross difference, that's also special, legal study, business ethics, marketing, finance, management, accounting, um, actually are the most popular and then old-fashioned business major across all the schools. So that's a division from Wharton. And then you can take a look also another popular school, NYU Stern. So luckily, the last few years we have students got in from different locations. So you can see it's selective, but not as selective as Wharton. Okay, there's a BS in business, there's business in political econ, there's business technology entrepreneurship, there's accounting, there's business in film and television, because NYU has a very well-known film program, teach school of, I don't think it's a film, but like it's combination film, theater, arts altogether. And then another school I want to show you guys has more detailed divisions. Accounting BA, like Wharton, right? That this school actually is one of the easiest top 10 business program you can get into in the United States. It's Kelly. The school is in Indiana University. So Indiana University itself ranked, I think, among 70 to 80. When 15 years ago, when I went to college, this program is top 10. 15 years later, still top 10. So this school is very well known for its business program. So actually, a few of my friends get into the program, even as an international student back then, they were able to land like the Big Four accounting firm, so they can land a very decent job. So it's a feeder school for the Big Four in the accounting world. But also remember, the Big Four not only have accounting, they have auditing, they also have a consulting. So their consulting is a tier 2 consulting firm. They pay very well compared to accounting majors. Accounting, I will talk a little bit more if you guys have questions. Some parents feel like the AI gonna interrupt the industry, so maybe accounting gonna never be a vital job, gonna took it by AI. But it really depends on what kind of accounting you're gonna do. Even before AI, a lot of software already overtook a lot of basic accounting role as a only thinking accounting as like a family tax return. Actually, accounting has a lot of different field applications. From a quote from a famous, I think very popular, can I say celebrity? Not celebrity. He's one of the most popular business professor online, Scott Galloway. So he's pretty vocal on like social equality. He taught at the NYU Stern. So here's a quote. He said, if you are a accounting major with a CPA certification plus a law degree, so you are a top 10% income earner in the business world, you can fly in a private jet. But he doesn't mean you can own a private jet, but like when you work with the big corporations, because it's rare to find people who have both accounting CPA background and then the law degree. He just give examples. Sometimes when we think about business, we talk about like the interdisciplinary studies. If you only do accounting, you got a CPA, your pay is very predictable. But if you have for example, you have a knowledge in finance or legal studies, like law degree, that will put you in a different spot in terms of competition. And then BA, digital social media, this is new. Those two are brand new. It's more for today's attention economy, and then economic consulting, entrepreneurship, finance, info system. For parents, if you feel like, oh, my kid's grade is not that not perfect, so but we're still interested, this school I would highly recommend it, because this is for our internal students. Give you guys an example. I think during the COVID 3 years ago, there was parents who herself is a accountant, and then his kids struggle school. I mean, not a super struggle. I mean, 3.3, 3.4, or 3.2, I forgot from. I think his school district rated is like a 7 out of a 10 in terms of like the greatschool.org, the ratings. It's not the superb school, but it's a very decent school in Bay Area, but not the expensive Bay Area neighborhood, the one with the less expensive ones. So the kids didn't know what to do, but the mom said like, I am a single mom, I only can afford you to go to college, I cannot afford you for the MBA or like a graduate school. So Ben, can you recommend the school for me? So what I did, I based on the kid's experience with help his mom with like a paperwork, some like client management, because I think his mom just like a regular CPA, tax filing, other things. But that kid has I think 1460 SAT, which for a lot of parents, oh, actually 1430 or 1420. It's less than 1450, I remember. Basically, his GPA is like a very low. School-wise, it's like 3.2, 3.3. without a lot of APs. But his SAT in Bay Area, you feel like, oh, that's pretty low. Like if you apply Berkeley, that's like nothing, even though Berkeley doesn't require SAT. But like people back then when they require SAT, Berkeley, LA, even San Diego, they need like such high SATs. And then other business program, when we go over all the programs, the mom say like, I want to focus on the job outlook. We just work together, brainstorm. We find this school is best fit for her son because the academic requirements is not that high. If you have a low GPA but your ICT very high, the school will help will leverage both your academic performance. So that kid actually get into the program, and then now I feel like he's either junior or soon senior now because his SAT score in IU, like Kelly School Business, is very high. Like anyone above 1400 in this range is high. So sometimes if for you guys, if you live in like a very competitive area like Bellevue, Washington State, like Palo Alto, Cupertino, and Bay Area, and then Irvine and like Southern California, if you or like study some certain areas in Boston, so you feel like, oh, without 1500 above, I'm like nothing. No, for a lot of school, decent school, top 10 business program in the nation. So if you have a 1400 above SAT, you are very competitive. So sometimes if you know what you want to study, you want to expand your school knowledge. Don't only focus on the super competitive ones because those schools are targeted by everyone, the best students from all over the world. So that's all the majors I really highly recommend you guys to look at. And also for real estate. When we talk about the AI's influence on the job market, the real estate's gonna have a long-lasting career path than most majors because based on the research, the more your work involved with interact with human beings, the less likely you're gonna be replaced by AI. That's why medical professional become a popular major over the last few years. So we have so many students apply pre-med over the last few years. So from our student pool alone, maybe our sample size is biased, but a lot of parents realize, okay, we cannot compete with the AI because they are more accurate. They never get tired. But then we work on things interact with human beings because that's something the machine can never replicate. Okay, let's go back to the another school. In terms of job outlook, I want to show you guys uh, Michigan Ross. This school this year offer Michigan this year first time they offer early decision. So this page never changed even 2 years ago when I look into for one of my students. So you can see that's on their website, okay, from their business program. So if you got into Michigan, even if from out of state, you pay a lot of money for the out-state tuition. But look at the job outlook. So the median base salary, not like the bonus or like signing bonus, so over $100,000, which is a very good number. Today, U.S. 4 years college graduates, the median income, I think, among like 60K, 50 to 60K nationwide. Even looking for the top school like Harvard, like I'm going to show you guys, a lot of majors, you're never going to reach this. Median 100K is very impressive. Sometimes we were over sold by the media, right? Some young kids graduate from college, they make like 200 grand, 300 grand. But that's rare. That's like a lottery. If you go to like any lottery store, they have someone win big award over the time. But that's statistics. But in reality, most kids, like they graduate from even graduate school, they have a hard time to make 100K, let alone the undergrad. So that's something I want you guys to focus on. I'm not to say everybody should go for like the MIT, become a like software engineer or go to CMU, get into their school of computer science. In reality, most people they graduate from college, either they have a debt, that's for sure for 80% of Americans, and then 95% of them cannot make over 100K. That's for sure. The number may be even more scarce. But look at undergrad Ross Business School Business. So this number is most impressive to me. 99.3% of graduates receive offer by September 30th. So this is very interesting stats. Receive offer. It doesn't mean they're gonna go, right? So some offer is very ugly, right? They didn't pay you or they pay very minimal. So but still, with today's job market, if they can have almost 100% employment rate, which means the business degree still guarantees very decent career. Okay, and then 233 companies hired. So that's from Michigan, and then let's look at Harvard. Okay, that's the number one school among all the Chinese parents, regardless of their nationalities. Princeton never make make the chart. Let me show you. So this part I want you guys to read carefully. So Harvard always good at using the stats to trick you. So 40% of graduates who said they have a jobs lineup will earn more than $110,000, like $1,100,000. That's a lot of money. And then more than two-thirds will earn more than 70K. Okay, so that's very impressive. And then most graduates who make the most money uh, into the three industry, finance, tech, consulting. That's where our guest speaker, Dyson, gonna share with you because he had the first hand experience. He worked in all three fields, actually two, tech consulting. But his team member also work in the financial industries. He will share some knowledge on that as well. Um, those three across the board, regardless you grad from Yale, Princeton, Harvard, Stanford, anyone getting those three industries, their pay is way above the average. Let's see the stats. So finance is the, take a look. Uh, this is more like interesting socioeconomic research. So for families make over $500,000 or more, so look at how like 33% their kids work in finance. Okay, and then 14% work in tech, and then consulting 16%. So look at the second the row here. The higher your parents' income, the more likely the child is going to go to the lucrative industry, which they make more. And then versus the low income, because with this income, if your family income lower than $40,000, you are 100% low income in the United States. So you pay zero for Harvard. You only pay your flight ticket, getting Harvard, and then the rest they pay your room, board, tuition, everything. See, they only have a 19% representative in finance. For the next group, uh, under $80,000, only 10%. So that's the sad truth. You guys have to learn. I think me myself also learn from this. The best way to predict a child income is the parents' income. That's across board. United States, China, same thing. Okay. Okay, I shared enough for this. I'm gonna hand over to Daisung. Before we start, Daisung, I just give the parents a little bit overview of background, but like your
Mhm.
resume is it would be my dream career when I was in college. So I will give you like a couple minutes to share with the parents your background, where you started, and then what are you doing right now. Because I tell the parents 2 months ago, by the time I met you, your company is worth $40 billion.
Yeah,
And but now I don't know if maybe 50, I don't know. But you can give us
yeah,
update
no,
for your career.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah, now it's over $50 billion. Um, yeah, so increased 10 billion more over the
Okay.
past few weeks. Yeah, I can give a brief introduction of myself, you know. Um, I used to be an engineer. I graduated with a PhD in electrical engineering from UCLA. And then I become an antenna design engineer at Apple, designing the several generations of iPhones, from iPhone 12 all the way to 14. During that time, I lead several innovations, including Apple Pay architecture innovation. Basically, it increased the effective area by 300% during my time there. So it really needs an innovation in architecture in antennas to make it happen. Um, Before joining Apple, I actually started my own startup based on the invention I had during my PhD. It's a new kind of antenna for MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. Now, after several years at Apple, I pivot my career from being an engineer to a business person. I joined McKinsey, become a strategy consultant based in Silicon Valley. And I served many different kinds of clients, including some of the largest semiconductor companies and also software companies. Um, Now, in the past, I mean, very recently, this year, I joined MPS. It's actually one of the largest provider for power electronics. Um, Also has a very wide range of end market applications, including data center, consumer, industrial, many more. So we have Um, one of the we are one of the most fastest growing company, although the company is public for more than 20 years. Um, we really benefit from the recent AI infrastructure building, the data center. We are providing all the chips there, not just the chips, but also modules, boxes, software, and many more. Now, at this company, I was mainly responsible for all the investments, merger and acquisition, and some of strategic product lines. So a lot of exciting things happening. So that's basically my career in a nutshell. Not sure if I'm taking too much time introducing myself.
Okay, thank you so much, Dyson. Dyson. So yeah, let me add some more details on Dyson's career. Because when I talked to Dyson a few months ago in Silicon Valley, we were in a coffee at a I forgot, it's very very nice place you picked. But that's
Yeah,
like some people just ride a motorcycle to disrupt our interview. But I
yeah,
remember you said during the time you graduated from PhD program at UCLA, you only submit one job application and you got it, which is Apple, the best
yeah,
so a hardware company in the world. How were
yeah,
you able to get like 100% accurate rate to get a job? Because most parents, their kids are in high school, some maybe in college, they are
yeah,
very panicked about like the how to land a like internship, find a job. So like you use a very different method. Some
yeah,
parents they cricket to something like 100 plus. Like some people brag, okay, I submit 1,000
yeah,
job resumes, but like no returns. But can you share us
yeah,
the secret of how were you able to, as an international students, right,
yeah,
without
yeah.
undergrad experience, do you want to find
That's
a job at Apple?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Ben, for the question. Well, time is different now, and every person is different. So I still think that applying for 100, I mean, submitting 100 or even more resumes still helps, is effective. But for me at that time, um, applying for Apple is basically where I really want to go. That's why I actually spend a lot of time trying to understand what they need. And it turns out antenna designer is one of the most um, well-paid and also important job as a hardware engineer at Apple. So I basically tailor my study towards that career goal even before I joined PhD. And
Oh.
during the PhD, yeah. So I was, I mean, it also a combination of my personal interests as well, right?
Mhm.
I really love electromagnetics, the Maxwell's equation. That's very neat, very beautiful equations that has such a wide application for in electrical engineering, and I simply love it. And also, when I was a child, I really liked to watch spy movies, and antenna is one of the most important thing for a
Yeah.
spy to communicate. So that's how I get passionate about it. But also I take a more practical lens when I try to choose which major or which specific direction I want to go, right? Antenna is really important for iPhone. Is it really important for this hardware company as well? Um, and during my PhD, I did internship at Apple, and I noticed that we have already many people, many of my friends um, who are from this specific lab, also in Apple. So
Mhm.
it's a tradition for our lab people, lab mates, to go to Apple. So
Mhm.
that's why it's relatively easy as well. So
Did
it's
you,
a combination of luck and expertise.
but let's go back to the undergrad. So you said even before you apply
Mm,
PhD program, you know, okay, that's a career goal I want to reach, like to reach. That's why I
mm,
study certain field. But you studied in China, undergrad in China. I know you were in a very popular program, but now it's forever gone. It's Shanghai
yeah,
Jiaotong and U Michigan, right? It's 2+2.
yeah,
So
yes,
when you were in high school, why would you choose 2+2 instead of just study like some more prestige program? Because you told me if you don't
mm,
pick engineer program, you pick some like a easier major, you might based on your Gaokao score, you can get into
yeah,
maybe Tsinghua, maybe like a Peking University, right? So why would you
yes,
choose like 2+2?
yeah. I think at that time. I think nowadays high schoolers, students, and parents are much more nuanced and well informed than myself at that time. It's
Right.
mainly a decision by my father. He thinks, and I believe that's very correct, and that a dual background in China and the US will benefit a lot because during the undergrad time, it is the time to build up the your understanding of the world yourself. You are growing so rapidly. It is better to have a dual culture. Um, and also, for those who can get into Shanghai Jiao University, but at the same time want to go abroad to study, um, basically, these people have similar background as I do. I mean, their parents are
Mm,
well educated. They have a broader perspective about the world. They are more open-minded. That way, my classmates will have a like minds. And I noticed that I really benefit more and more from this kind of a specific background uh, nowadays, because many of my classmates or schoolmates who are also in this program
mhm.
were now investors, entrepreneurs,
Wow.
CEOs of a public company, even. One of the largest, one of the top 10 um, actually, top five Chinese public market CEO is is my good friend, and also we went to the same program. So
Wow.
it's basically a circle. I mean, um, so yeah, so it's a decision by I mean credit to my parents. But
Okay.
yeah, but I really enjoyed it. Um,
So
it is
what do you
yeah.
see? Why would your program like educate such a group of talented people like in the like era of
Mm,
AI, right? There's a lot of change
yeah.
shift. So have you
Yes.
ever compared to classmates like schoolmates who didn't do the
Yeah.
2+2 like exchange program, only stay like
Uh-huh.
in Shanghai or like only in
Yeah.
Michigan? Because I knew people graduated from Michigan 4 years, but
Mhm,
they didn't have
mhm.
the amazing career like you did. So
Yeah.
what's unique about your program and then the people? Why there's so many people so successful?
Yeah, I remember very clearly one of the comment by the the founding dean of this program said we are not uh, trying to educate and educate a leading engineer. We're trying
Mhm,
to educate engineering leader. Leader
mhm,
means it is not just being good at engineering topics, but also be able to motivate other engineers to set up this vision, to set up this goal, to have the vision, so that other people can follow you. Um, so this is a very different from what other programs are targeting. I'm not saying
mhm.
that other programs are not good. There are many great people and friends also in other program also do great. But I guess the principle, the guiding principle is a little bit different.
Yeah, also personally, I feel like the program is perfect match to combine the best talent in China and then the American Education Foundation because I have a lot of friends who did undergrad in China, one of the best schools. They attended graduate school United States, right? So they have a
Hmm.
hard time to advance their career to become a management like role. They are more focused on
Yeah,
technology, but like themselves struggle with the innovation, right? Like
yeah.
if you not become like the very rare principal engineer or like a like or the CTO, like basically you just waiting for the time either get layout or you stay there forever. So why why
Yeah,
why why would you like what you didn't have a education like a business background like you
yeah,
100% electrical engineer. How were
yeah.
you able to jump from like a tech background at Apple from UCS
Hmm.
UCLA PhD get into
Yeah,
consulting like a McKinsey, the
yeah,
like
yeah.
dream job for any business majors? Like how does that happen?
Yeah, well, most of them are self-taught. I guess this is the best way
Mm-hmm.
to learn. And I mentioned that I have a startup experience by the end of my PhD. Um, I mean, I innovated this new technology and wanted to apply it to real products so that I can benefit more people. So I turned this antenna into a product, RF coil, radio frequency coil in MRI, a medical device. So through this experience, I basically pitch uh, my idea and get the fundings through the school accelerator, and I really
Oh.
got super excited, and I, also got the support from my lab mates and professor. Um, it's such a transformative experience. If I were to say which experience really shape shape my mindset for my career, it is this entrepreneurship experience. Although it doesn't go as far as expected,
Hmm.
it really planted the seed for my
Hmm.
later career. So I established some of the basic business sense. And also it sometimes it's not just experience, but also uh, you know, uh, what brings into your gene. I come from a family. My parents, some of my relatives do businesses. My parents are in the banking system, so I kind of like doing business. But I think business is a tool for us to amplify our engineering innovations.
Hmm.
So I find it natural to go into consulting, but it still takes a lot of effort. It is not
Yeah.
easy. I mean, going from being an engineer to being a consultant, it is two totally different environment. But I do enjoy, solving business problems. I mean, consulting is solving. I mean, both of these professions they solve problems. Or in any career, if you want to really advance to the top, or really want to advance fast, you are solving one problem after another. Um,
Hmm.
one key is to find the correct problem to solve. Second is how to solve it effectively.
Hmm.
Effectively means not just by yourself, but also together with other people. Um, so, yeah, so it takes some effort and
Hmm.
also some luck for me to get
Hmm.
into this consulting industry. And
Hmm.
actually I find it difficult um,
Hmm.
because I find it very difficult to be promoted to the partner level
Yeah, but
because
yeah, I
yeah,
agree because there's a very limited seat that we talked that day. Like it's
mm,
really hard for Asian Americans. I mean,
yes,
let alone international. You are not an American born Chinese. Like you stay
yeah,
here when you are 20 something, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
but before the partnership, because a lot of people so a lot of time they didn't know the process. So can you walk
hmm,
us through the basics? Like if you luckily got into McKinsey, what's the
yeah,
career trajectory? Like how many years
yeah,
take you to become a maybe director, maybe VP, I don't know, like the rankings.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so usually if you are undergrad, you get into consulting, you become an analyst. If you are really good, after 2 years, you'll be promoted to engagement manager. And I mean, but most people become an associate and then become engagement manager. It takes 45 years. When I was an associate and then become an engagement manager there. But after that, you basically become associate partner after 2 years. So basically, um, it takes you about 6 to 7 years to become
Hmm.
associate partner um,
Hmm.
in consulting firm. Now, this path is not easy for every step, but it is possible. Uh, but being promoted from associate partner to being a partner, that is there's a big gap there. Most people just
Hmm.
stop there. And I haven't seen any Chinese, this is probably not politically right, but I don't see any Chinese male with China background, China, uh, China mainland background to become a partner in North America
Okay.
at McKinsey.
Or even like okay, I thought it was only in San Francisco office, like entire in yeah, North
Yeah.
America.
Yeah,
I see,
yeah,
I see.
yeah. I mean, you see, there are many 网红, right?
Yeah,
Feng
right?
Tang,
Lee.
Yeah, they are
Yeah,
all promoted in China, not in the
I
North
see.
America. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's very
So
difficult.
so even did you include what about like the Asian Americans who were
Oh
born here?
yeah,
Did
yeah,
you see
Asian
any?
American, yes. With ABC, yes, of course.
Okay.
They got a fair chance doing that.
Okay.
Mm.
for the parents, if your kid are born here, you still have a chance. But like if you are like a
Yeah,
Dyson or like me, forget it.
yeah.
So, but that's still I try to help parents understand like Apple, that's the best companies, right? Like they just
Yeah,
surpassed like 400 billion, right? Oh, actually, yeah, 400 billion or
oh
4,000 billion, 4,000, yeah,
no,
4,000 billion.
yeah, yeah, $4 trillion. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
4
4 trillion,
trillion.
4 trillion. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
So, like Nvidia, the first one, 5 trillion. Apple follow up. Apple
yeah,
is like some people's dream career. Like you already got into Apple. Like you design like
yeah,
iPhone 11 to 14, so you did
yeah,
well. Like what drives you to try something new, like and then risky, right? I'm not saying you're losing
yeah,
the previous job. You just want to
mm,
try something totally different. What drives you? Because you did
yeah.
well, graduate, right?
Mhm.
What drives you?
Yeah, yeah, that's a great question. I mean, at that time, everything is very good, right? I got very well paid. My career trajectory is going to be very clear. Um,
Hmm.
and all the coworkers really likes me, and I work really well and happy there. Um, but we always go back to the original why really what is driving you forward. For me, it is creating something that is impactful and
Hmm.
something new.
Hmm.
You could argue that iPhone is new, is innovative, but at that time, uh, um, every generation is very similar, uh,
Hmm.
except the camera is better.
Right,
And
right.
but for I mean, honestly, for every generation, we spend a lot of time, although it looks very much similar, but we spend a lot of time and efforts designing different antennas. But I just
Mm,
feel I cannot uh, satisfy myself um, doing this one year after year. And I can see, okay, after 10 years, I designed 10 generations of antennas for iPhone. I mean, counting the impact, counting how many people use it, that's probably big impact, but
mhm,
it still cannot satisfy me in terms of the innovation. And I want to also be able to lead the innovation can that other people can feel
mhm,
other can people
mm,
can really feel. That's why a business training is necessary. Um, we want to leverage a McKinsey platform so that I can achieve something more. That's why I went to McKinsey, and now I'm doing investment, and merger and acquisition, um, amplify and supporting many of the innovations in the market, not just one company, but many different companies. So that's what I think is most impactful through
mm,
me. Um, and another part is that we have to be real to be real to yourself, what you feel and what you think. Um, at Apple, I feel that part of me is not being um, fully utilized. I love talking to people. I love talking to understanding different types of technology, not just one. Um,
mhm,
that I mean, my current job really innovate me, and it really like um, inspired me every day. Every day when I wake up, I feel so excited. I can't wait to get up and get working. But when I was at Apple, I don't have such a kind of excitement. So we want to be really true to our feelings, but also understand why we got excited and got passionate about. So these two are really important to me, and I guess it could also be important to high
mm.
school students. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another question. So when you decide, okay, I want to make a bigger impact, I want to more get into the business world, I can lead a team to create something new. Like
Hmm.
traditionally, like maybe 10 years ago, the popular thought is, okay, I go to MBA, go to Harvard MBA, Stanford MBA, right?
Hmm.
So like have a to use my MBA degree to land me a better job at the corporation or like
Yeah.
consulting. But
Yeah.
why would you go directly through the hard way? Like you don't have a business background, right? You just try
Yeah.
to compete with other like Harvard
Yeah.
graduates, Wharton
Hmm.
graduates. Like
Yeah.
what's your calculation or like your plan
Yeah.
there?
Yeah. My plan was still apply for MBA, but I just tried, right? Give it a chance.
Mhm,
That apply for the consulting firms, and it turns out that it worked. Um, So, I mean, obviously, if you go to the MBA, you're just taking 2 years of time studying. But if you spend 2 years in consulting firm, you learn much more. You are solving real-time project, real world projects, real world problems, and people pay you instead of you
Yeah,
paying for the
that's
tuition.
that's exactly what I was trying to say. You go to MBA, you pay $250,000 for 2 years, and you don't pay, you get any paid, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
you go
right.
to McKinsey, you save $250,000, they pay you another $250,000, you make
Yeah.
half a million dollar, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's a
So,
half a million
but
dollar difference. And you
yeah,
learn
but
more.
that's yeah, that's really hard. That's really hard. I mean,
Yeah.
you when you get into McKinsey, because a lot of parents, their kids is not as you, like they're not STEM kids. They like business,
Yeah.
right? They're very good at speech debate. Do you
Yeah.
see the number, like there are more business degree people in McKinsey or less based on your
There's,
observation?
yeah, I mean, it's just such a diverse place.
Mhm.
Whatever your major is, you have a fair chance to get in.
Really?
What McKinsey is looking for is basically the leadership in business and the capability to solve complex business problems. That's it. Then how do you do that? You want to be communicating very well. You want to be
Mhm.
thoughtful, empathetic when you are communicating to your clients. You want to be reasonably good at numbers, right? You cannot calculate your math cannot be too bad. Um,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. But besides that, every major student from every major have a fair chance.
I
Um,
see.
yeah, and we just need to go through the resume check and then go through the case interview, which is really tough. You need to solve a
Mhm.
problem on the spot within 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and have
Wow.
a very good conversation with the three or four partners. So the case preparation is not easy. The interview is not easy, but it takes some take some practice, but also
Mhm.
take some I mean, when I was interviewing for McKinsey, I simply asked some of my good friends who already got into McKinsey to mock
Mhm.
interview with me. That's super
Mhm.
effective because many
Mhm.
people did many cases by themselves or with their peers, but
Mhm.
they don't really understand where the bar is. So it's really hard for them to understand if what they practice already reached the criterion.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
So basically for the parents, if your kid are in college or like you're, I know like some of you guys actually no, this is an internal like Zoom webinar. Sorry, I forgot. So
Yeah.
for you guys, your kid either in 10th, 11th, 12th, in the future, if you can get into college, right, by letting support, get into your dream school, if your kids really have a idea, want to either get into a tech industry like Apple, those tech interviews, or McKinsey, or like investment banking. So please, you can contact with a consultant. You gonna connect with the representative from Dyson. The Dyson has a side startup. He
Yeah.
had a connection with the people from investment banking, consulting, his previous colleague from McKinsey, and so many other different areas, tech world. So they offer service like us, similar, but it's totally focused on career. For us, we focus on your college, the major, right? How to plan in high school. Dyson is opposite. Like they focus on the post high school career plannings. The reason why I brought him into the webinar with you guys is because over the years there's so many companies contact us, so they charge very expensive fees, way expensive than Dyson's team. And then I just don't know them personally, but Dyson is one of the best friends of my colleague. So they grew up together. They know each other. I just talked to him. I was like, we were immediately clicked. I learned so much things from him, because not only because he's an amazing career, but the funny thing I told Dyson, I said like, if I had your career, my consulting fee will be 3 times more. So because you cross so many different field, which are
Yeah.
very attractive to the parents. For example, I just shared the screen with the parents, the Harvard graduate. Each year they have a publish on their newspaper, Harvard Crimson. They mentioned, okay, so the most popular job destiny actually is most selective. Tech not number one, and then finance, and then consulting. So those three, they make more than $110,000 as starting salary at the undergrad, which is very impressive. The others, like you get an education, but politics is much less. Even all graduate from Harvard. So let's get back to the school. So that's when you graduate from UCLA, and then I think
mm,
Apple company also give you an edge when you interview with the consulting. But
mm,
when you work at McKinsey over the years, do you see the pattern where there are certain schools are favorable by
mm,
McKinsey?
mm. Yeah, I think you know, um, most of the, I mean, of course, McKinsey is a meritocracy place.
Yes.
There are many. Most of my colleagues come from very good programs. Um, there are less people from. There are less colleagues from public schools, um, like UCLA or the state universities. But I still
Okay.
see, but I still see friends who are really good come from this kind of schools. Um,
Mhm.
and usually, if you are from these schools and you got into McKinsey, it's because you are much better than those with Stanford, Harvard degrees.
I
So
see. So
I guess every
but it's
people
it's
have,
it's
yeah,
actually it's even harder, right? Because
yes,
you have to be way better than them.
yeah,
Like your environment, you are less competent, like which means you are very motivated. You are the best of the best.
yes,
Like
yes,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, it's not just about school, right? It's also about your work experience,
Mhm,
what you are really good at. Um,
mhm.
for example, one of my colleagues, who is also a good friend, and now she went to Harvard Business School
Mhm.
after being promoted to engagement manager. But before that, she was from Notre Dame.
That's very
So
good. That's already very good school. Yeah.
yeah, it's a good school, but not as good as Harvard Stanford. I mean,
Right.
even
Right.
Harvard Stanford students fight so hard to get into McKinsey. Um,
Yeah. Agree.
yeah, the admission rate even for these schools are very, very low.
Yeah.
But I find that my friend, my colleague there, she can speak 8 languages, all very
Wow.
fluently. Um, so
That's crazy.
she has a special talent to learn
Yeah.
languages, and although she has a China mainland background, her native language is not English.
Mhm.
She speaks perfect English, even better than most of the ABCs, I think.
Yeah. Agree.
Very
There's
elegantly.
people, yeah, there's the
Yeah.
people. I think there's a specific name for they call it polygram or something like that. For people
Mhm.
who speak more than three languages, they have a
Yeah.
specific name. They just
Yeah.
naturally their brain wired differently. They can
Yeah.
just learn language very naturally. I
Yeah.
understand those kind of people. Yeah, their
Yeah.
language is better than American-born Chinese. So I agree.
Yes.
So wow. But then
Yeah.
just for just curiosity, if
Hmm.
she's so good, she already got into like a McKinsey. But like, why would she still want to go to Harvard
Yeah.
MBA?
That's a very good question. So every people has different goals in their life, and
Yeah,
at certain career stage, um, she wants to explore more options.
I
And
see. So
Harvard
what?
Business
Yeah.
School just gave her a chance, 2 years to reflect on her past career and to get to know new people, get exposed to new industry so that she can choose a second time. Likely she will come back to McKinsey, but uh, if she finds her passion in entrepreneurship, she probably will start her own company. Who knows?
I agree. Yeah, it's more for the. I think that if she already got a kissing job, there's. I was for the beginning when I hear you share the story, I was like, okay, maybe she still has the fascinating like a fixation with the brand name college, right? Like a Harvard Business
No,
School. But
yeah,
no, no, you're right.
I'm not sure about that. I mean, but she has a very different career path than I do. Right after graduation from undergrad, she actually got a McKinsey offer
Oh,
and
I see.
spent 4 years at McKinsey. So she wants to
Break.
have
Yeah.
a better look at outside world.
Agree. Well, that's hard. I mean, that's when you work at McKinsey, we talk about
Mhm.
the brand name, they got advantage. But do you
Mhm.
see like what's the portion of undergrad like your friend who can directly got to McKinsey is like a one third or like less than 10% based on your observation? Because you had experience, you had a PhD, you have a work
Uh-huh.
experience, you got a McKinsey.
Yeah.
But what about the
Yeah.
average people getting to McKinsey?
You mean the percentage of what?
Yeah, yeah. The percentage of undergrad can directly enter McKinsey. How hard it
Oh,
is.
I see, I see, I see. Yeah, I mean, and McKinsey is more almost half-half.
Wow.
If you I mean, half undergrad, half graduate or professional. I mean, my case is very unique. You know,
Hmm.
McKinsey recruits very few uh, professionals,
Oh,
mostly from campus recruit. So I got
I see.
lucky that they have openings and also they choose me.
Okay.
But mostly half-half because they used to be so only or undergrad dominate. But they
Hmm.
later on, because of the expansion of the business, they find it hard to find um, qualified candidates. So they
I see.
expanded over to the advanced degree, mostly PhDs. And then they
I
do
see.
study to compare, finding that PhD and undergrad they have similar performance, or sometimes PhD did better.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about the investment banking. I know that your team, there's a lot of investment bankers. They can help. But
Yeah.
you give parents a broader sense. Okay, what's the career trajectory for investment banking? What's their feeder school like? Just the question we had for consulting, because investment
Yeah.
banking actually is more popular among my student group than
Hmm.
consulting. So yeah,
Oh,
please you can
okay.
share some general information about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm not from investment banking
Mhm.
background. I'm mainly in the tech and then consulting, right? And now,
Mhm.
although I'm doing investment, it's more about venture capitalists
Mhm.
and merger and acquisition. Merger
Mhm.
acquisition is more related to the PE, private
Yeah.
equity.
Late stage. Yeah.
For this field, it's usually uh, people go from investment banking to merger and acquisition and PE.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am more familiar with the VC world. For the VC world, it's uh it's usually very tailored career path. If you are an
Mm.
entrepreneur, and then it's easy for you to become a VC partner or after graduating from top schools like Stanford, Harvard, you have a fair chance to become an analyst at VC fund, like A16Z, for example, or
Mm.
Kleiner
Mm.
Perkins. These are all
Mm.
very prestigious and large VCs, relatively large VCs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but VCs usually don't have a formal recruiting process and recruiting time even sometimes. So when an opening comes up, they first find their close friends who have some recommendations. So if you want to get into VC, you really want to get internship in one of these uh, large VCs or smaller VCs if you got to know, that you can also get into some of the smaller boutique VCs if you have special
Mm.
interest to some of
Mm.
the topics. For example, deep tech or fintech, then you can find some specific VCs. The key is to blend yourself into a VC world, act like a VCer, uh, venture capitalist, get to know as many people as possible. And personal connection is the key. So VC world is more about a connection game. It's a syndicate game. People make decisions based on a syndicate information, right? You know, syndicate. Syndicate is like a group of people talk about the same thing together. Um, so personal connection is one of the key areas. Um, so for the VC world, it's about personal connection and blending into this small society. Um, so if you want to get into VC, better move to Silicon Valley if you can. If you cannot find, I mean, when you get admitted to the university and find entrepreneurship club, and there are many local VCs around your campus, Boston, New York, or other cities, Michigan as well, Ann Arbor. Um, so then you will be able to, establish your connection there. For the investment banking route, I would resort to the other my friends or colleagues
Yeah,
who
your
worked
teammates.
at
Yeah.
the investment banking to talk about it. They know it more in more detail. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So for parents, if in the future when your kids go to college, you just like, want them to get the first internship earlier, so to help them, or like you even want to start from the first year, maybe choose Dyson as the mentor or like Dyson's teammates, because Dyson has a lot of connections currently working McKinsey, other top consulting firm, or like a VC, and also like the investment banking, those well-known Wall Street names, and also tech. So he has a group of friends who doing this as a side job to help mentor those younger generations. So you can connect with your after getting college, connect with your, or even now you can schedule a meeting with him.
Yeah,
But he's not free,
thank you,
right?
Ben.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
thank
but
you,
he's
Ben,
not
for the
free.
introduction.
Yeah. I forgot to mention that. This is more like a. But one thing I can guarantee you guys, some company want to. Okay, Dyson's group. Okay, so if you want to reach out to talk to your counselors, because here is for internal interview, right? Like internal workshop, right? Talk to your WeChat group or like an email your consultant. Your consultant will connect with the Dyson's representative. Yeah. So Dyson, can you go over with us your teammates industry? What kind of a company they work at? What kind of support they can give to the parents and their kids?
Yeah. Of course, yeah. Yeah. So most all of the mentors here in my group, we're doing part-time. We have a job in the daytime, because I think this is the way for us to still get very deep into our specific field. Um, so we have a very wide range of um, mentors. Uh, for myself, consulting VC, um, and we also have investment banking colleague. Um, One thing to mention is that we try to stay very niche and try to really find not just like common investment banking jobs for you, but sometimes try to find some of the niche areas where other people where it's a very good career, very good fit for our ABCs or our Asian friends. But you usually have a fair chance or even better chance. For example, econ consulting is one of the small niche in the investment banking route.
Mm,
Investment banking, usually you need to sometimes you need to be able to communicate really well and be aggressive when you are socializing. But if you are really good at math and really likes mathematic modeling as well, econ consulting might be a good fit for you. Now, this is just one example. We also have mentors from product management or project management in big tech firms. Now, speaking of the product management, we do not just talk about the general sense product management. We have mentors in AI product management in
mm,
Google, Gemini team. Um, excuse me. And we have mentors from Walmart Lab. All of them are very good friend of me. Um, we have a data analyst, a data scientist, to track mentors as well from Amazon, Google, many good schools, many good companies. Um, we also have engineering check. We have
mm,
the engineering director and senior manager from AMD or NVIDIA.
mm,
Um, so really try to, and the reason why we have such a wide or diverse range is because we are really trying to find your real passion and try to understand who you are, and then curate the specific career track that is most suitable to you and to your passion, to what you are good at. Um, with this kind of wide uh, reach, we will
mm.
be able to find you the most suitable career path,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
we will tailor your career accordingly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree. So one thing I find like a very like a commonly shared between me and the Dyson is like we not like when we had a we have the dinner at Cupertino, so at that time we were like talking. We have something cross board like the similar views. Even we work in different industry, so
Mm,
Dyson is like not you don't looking for the McKinsey the brand name. Like you have to look back like what are you good at? Like what's your passion, right? Because
yeah.
Dyson said like he's a business person. He's passionate want to create things, make something, make bigger impact. Consulting give him the best platform to access different industry. For us, same. We know a student from their activity list, their volunteers, their parents' background, their hobby, right? Their where they spend their
Mm,
most time. We find
yeah.
a major for them that suit the best.
Mm,
Versus like that's why I don't like a lot of company who contact us before because remember parents, YouTube, WeChat, we have a cross-border like 100,000 subscribers because we don't have like short videos. Mostly we do like a long hour live streaming and then or like 45 minutes Zoom meetings, right? Like a Zoom webinar. So it's very selective because a lot of parents they don't have patience for that content. But still, with the over the years, we collect all the parents. There, a lot of them have an advanced degree. We have parents who like came here for undergrad, like all over the place. That's why when the company contacted me, I was like, I read your stuff. I know your brand name. There's some company very famous. They charge very expensive fees. Some of my student who go to one of the top 10 schools now already working. He shared with me. He said, Ben, like you know how expensive it is. So like the company charge those college grads, I think a lot of money, like I think 20, $30,000 for like a few interviews plus
mhm,
referrals. That's like to
yeah.
me, that's like a robbery. I talked to Dyson,
Yeah.
I know him. He's more like us doing the regular meeting, make sure all his teammates take care of students to know their
Yeah.
passion, help them to tailor the interview, find the right internship or job opportunities. I think more important, like help the kid know what's your strengths. How will your strengths match with different industries? That's very different. And then one thing I can guarantee you, um, all the companies we select to present to you guys internally, we don't charge them anything. We sometimes we even pay them. But one thing we can guarantee is I negotiate some small discount from Dyson. So
Yeah.
to share with you guys. So you guys, when you guys decide to work with them, their team in the future, so the price will be a little bit different than their market price. That's the best thing I can do. Okay, for the next round, Dyson, I wanted to
Yeah.
share a little bit more about the internship because I know that
Mm,
it's been a while since you already work in the professional industry.
yeah.
How important is the internship for you to find your job, and then
Hmm.
and also career interest, and also how to find your first internship? I think families is more worried about like the intern because internship
Mm,
leads to job. That's very
yes.
natural. So
Yes.
would you share some experience when you're undergrad and in graduate school? How would you find an internship?
Yeah, yeah. I think an internship is critical. Um, I mean, it's even more critical now than before. When I
Mm,
was undergrad, I didn't do any internship. It's I should have. Um, but like when I was in graduate school, I did an internship at Broadcom, which is also one of the largest company now. Um,
yeah.
so yeah. But to find the first internship is always difficult. So it's better that you have someone to mentor you and guide you. But
Mhm,
also, um, if you are a sophomore just or freshman just got into college, you can the world is open to you. You can choose whatever that you think is interesting to you. It is also trial and error process. But for any kinds of internship, what they're looking for is a responsible person who are passionate about um, learning new things. Especially when you are undergrad, people understand that you don't have any background or specific expertise. But what you need to demonstrate is your leadership potential, the potential to be a leader, the potential I mean, the curiosity to learn new things. Now, how do you demonstrate that? You
mhm,
demonstrate it through the good GPAs, and you demonstrate
mhm,
it through school activities, and you
mhm,
demonstrate it through meaningful projects you have done. I mean, this is critically important. Something you have done before.
mhm,
I mean, something you have done during the high school. You probably, started your own small business, or you have done a small research with the guidance of a professor. This all counts. Um,
mhm,
or I try to bridge the gap. between the first internship and the school life, right? I used to do some pro bono projects for companies, and I turn it into some programs where people or students can practice their skills on this platform. For example, there are some real consulting projects that I did and turn it into mini projects so that you can really learn and feel what consulting life is, what it's like to become a consultant in real life. So
Mhm.
these kinds of projects will be helpful. Not just my pro bono projects. There are tons of clubs at universities and that can help you to hone these skills. There are consulting clubs, entrepreneurship project clubs, and also investment clubs. And I see the other day I was talking to Yumish student. She told me that they have a dorm room funding or
Mhm.
investment fund of how much? 100K, so that they
Mhm.
can invest like 10 or 20 startups. So these
Wow.
real world experience will be super, super important and critical for you to find an internship or you find your next career path.
Yeah, 100% agree. So a lot of parents feel like, okay, it's hard to find internship nowadays with AI, like a new graduate kind of find job. Like Dyson give very good examples. So when there's no job, you create your own jobs, right? You volunteer some organizations doing things, project. You can do that
Mm,
free. My first internship when I was in graduate school, they pay me nothing, but
mm,
it's an incubator in Silicon Valley. That's why
mm.
how when Dyson talk about the VC, all the stuff I kind of know because
Yeah,
that it's like because when there I was like, okay, why is nobody paying me? But when I know the people across the table who graduated from MIT master program also came here for free because they want the resource connections. I knew I'm in the right place, so I got
yes.
connected by my landlord. She worked on downstairs. She said, "Oh Ben, you want an internship? You okay with non-pay?" I said, "It's fine. I don't have time, right? Like whatever it takes." And then she referred me. That's opened me a whole world. And then my wife later on joined that incubator. So I agree, Dyson. So
Yeah,
parents like you don't fall into the trap where okay when you apply college, Ivy League school, right? When I go find a job, McKinsey, Morgan Chase, like you put yourself in a very narrow path. 99% you're gonna lose. So
yeah,
instead, like Dyson mentioned, start your own things, like build your career. Like if you have some skill, no matter persuasive skill or empathetic, or like
yeah,
you just being very reliable, you have to show them through the project what kind of
yeah,
impact, even in volunteer that helps. So that's
yeah,
what about the students who struggle at school, right? Like
yeah.
they have hard time to maintain OAs, the ICT was okay. So
Mm.
how would you able to help those kids in college to find their career path, their strengths?
Yeah. Ben, first of all, I really like your story. I mean, whatever the job is, or not just the
Yeah.
internship, right? You want to be really open-minded and really find and try all the way, hack your way into a job or an
Yes.
internship.
Yes.
I mean, you gotta be, I mean, the world is so competitive now. You gotta
Yeah.
be finding your own way. That's the mindset we need, not just for undergrad, but also, I mean, every now and then. I feel that I need to really break through many more walls to reach the goal. Um,
Agree. Yeah.
yeah. So coming back to the question you asked, so for people are not so the best at schoolwork, how can you find a passion or how can you find a job, right? Um, I guess everyone has his own passion and we need to find it, and the only way to find it is to practice and to trial and error. I mean, if you are really good at, I mean, when I was, I can give you one example of myself, right?
Mhm.
Although I go through the PhD program, I notice I will not be the best scientist. I noticed that my PhD project is to combine the technology of two fields into a new application. So I noticed that I am really good at putting um, technologies together and finding new use cases.
Mhm.
And you know what? I mean, during the PhD program, you probably think this is not deep enough. I mean, it is difficult to break the wall between different disciplines.
Right.
Uh, but but uh, but you know what? In real world, these kinds of not you cannot say breakthrough innovations. These small innovations or cross-border innovations actually has a large impact. And I noticed that I'm really good at spotting these things. And that's what
Mm,
I find my superpower during my venture investment, VC.
okay.
That's super important because I understand the technology. I have an eye for the potential applications, its new applications. And
Mm,
that's how you find your strength. Very small
yeah.
things, very small things, but you gotta hold on to it. I mean,
Yeah.
if you find yourself really you find yourself really fascinated by one kind of animal or one kind of fruit, or you really love building up the models, or you are really curious about how the lightning works. You really want to put things together. All these small things, want to hold on to it, and and try to see what does it mean, what does it indicate. Probably you can find vertical and horizontal. Uh, there got to be a way to utilize your talent. And because after school, after 4 years of undergrad, you understand, the world is open game. It is no longer a scores. It is about how you can best leverage your advantage and amplify it and keep practicing on it. Instead of being an, well-rounded person, you don't have to be. You only need to be good at one thing and do it really well. And then
Hmm.
that will create tremendous value to the society. That's how the society rewards you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's for sure the story because based on resume, we feel like you are super good in everything. You said, okay, even though I'm good, but you say, oh yeah, I'm not the best in the single field, but I'm good at combining. So I remember
Yeah.
a short video. So for parents, you didn't know the video, you can search like when Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos have an anecdote at school when he was in Princeton. He really wanted to
Yeah.
become an astronaut, right? Remember that
Yeah.
one? Like
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. Yeah. I
it's
remember.
so funny. He said he spent a whole night with his roommate to figure out the question, and then he go to another guy, right, from
Yeah.
Middle East, Princeton. Within a
Yeah.
few minutes, he figured out. And then at that
Yeah.
moment, Jeff Bezos said, "Oh, forget it. I'm never gonna become a very good like physicist." That's why he become
Yes.
the billionaire, the richest man on earth back then, right?
Yes.
So for
Yes.
parents, I think that message very encouraging. So no matter in China, Gaokao, right? A very unified exam. People just feel I'm not good at this and that. Even my age, like I'm 40 years old. I talk to my friends. Whenever they talk about school, like you can still feel their traumatic effect. They say, "Oh, like I'm not like you guys. I'm not good at study, so my life just screwed." So they use the
Mm,
standard from a arbitrary government to tell you are not good. Like
mm,
what Daisu mentioned is okay. You have to find your own niche. If you're not good at one thing, you combine or combine few, right?
mm,
If you're not smart enough, but like you put a lot of effort, there's a lot of industry reward effort, right? There's
mm.
a lot of things like me. So remember when I was in Silicon Valley, like a lot of people, everybody persuaded me, Ben, if you want to live here, make a living, you want to become an engineer, right? The study is
Yeah.
coding. And
Yeah.
everybody told me like that. I was like, I can't, I'm not smart enough. I can't. I tried, I can't. Like they start persuading my wife. So we were like, okay, if by doing business I don't make much. But
Yeah.
one thing I noticed, even nowadays, so when I was doing the free internship at the incubator, so my boss bought a building, I think $8 million back then. Now it's like $30 million. It's next to the San Jose airport. So that
Mhm,
boss is like a real estate like a tycoon. He just know how to make the investment. So I was there. I tried to organize people come here to like start pitch, right? They have the idea, the engineers. I
mm,
realized one thing very funny. I'm a graduate student, a first year graduate, right?
mm,
So in my business program, I'm average. I'm above average, like among Chinese, like among international students, I'm better ones. But among American students, I'm like a medium because they are very good at performing, right? Talk, presentation, all the things. So I'm not that good. But when I was in that location, there's hundreds of engineers come every week. They come for start pitch. There's investors.
yeah.
When I try to organize, try to do the openings, I'm way better than them because 99% of the engineers I met in Silicon Valley, they were stage fright. They
Yeah.
are shaking, right? But for me, I
Yes.
was like, why are you guys doing this? Like, I gradually find my confidence. I'm not as
Yes.
smart as them, but I'm more like a thick skin. So for parents, so anything you find from a kid, either they have thick skin or they are just have good temper, whatever you want to leverage that, like Dyson mentioned, try things to prove your skills, to tell them I'm good at this, right? So they're gonna help you gradually build your confidence. But that's not my domain area. My team can do help you go to better college, better than you apply yourself apply, and go to college or even when you got an offer the next April, try to talk to Dyson and then let your son to maybe figure out the best way to work together. So I think we have enough time for today. Like I'm gonna give parents a few minutes if they have any questions for their kids. Most of them are in middle school. Yeah, let me see. Oh, high school. I'm sorry, high school. Hold on, let me see. Uh, okay. Oh, one last question I forgot to ask you.
Mhm.
How do you see the AI threat on the college grad?
Yeah.
Like what should they prepare? Because they're gonna go to college for next year or the year
Yeah.
after, so they're scared. They hear all this
Yeah.
crazy theory. Amazon just lay off. I think oh my God, that's how many people? 20,000 or 30, like there's a lot of people got laid off
30,000.
by
30,000.
yeah,
Yeah.
30,000.
Yeah.
That's huge number. So what's
Yeah.
your advice to the future college kids?
Yeah, yeah. First of all, I think there's no need for fear, because
Mhm.
every time there's a new kind of technologies transformative one, it means that new way of working is needed, new expertise is needed. And so if you haven't gone through undergrad, lucky for you, right? Your college education will not be wasted. Um,
Okay.
I mean, many people are, I mean, Amazon, many people are laid off, not just because of the AI, but also
Mhm.
because big tech companies overexpanded in the past few years when the time is really good, and now because interest rates is higher, it's uh, it's uh, it's different, not just because of AI. Now, one of the most convincing use case for AI now is programming still.
Mhm.
So that's us. That's probably one of the reason why Amazon lay off people. But it doesn't mean that software engineers or programmers are not needed. It means that different type of programmers are needed. The type of programmers who not just to know how to write a specific code, but understand architecture, understand the business cases for these codes. Um, so it means that it doesn't mean that you don't need to go through computer science programs. Still, science program computer science students can be used in it can be better used. Your
Mhm.
capability will be amplified. For
Mhm.
example, in the past,
Yes.
if you want to start your own company, you probably need to have at least 10, 20 people. But
Right.
now one person can do it. What does it mean? It means that the business margin is higher. It means that you can do much more than before if you're a computer science student. Now, for
Mhm.
what about the others? Uh, I mean, for if AI comes, it'll be easier for those who don't code or who are not computer science major
Mhm.
to also do the coding, because it becomes easier for you to realize. I mean, set up a website or write an app or write an algorithm, because
Mhm.
it is at the end of the day, it is about the creativity, the
Yeah.
capability to connect with other people that really
Mhm.
matters. I mean,
Yeah.
there used to be, you have to learn all these languages to code. Now you can just talk to code. The way to talk to connect is a way. I mean, if you are really good at communication, now you don't have to know the language, and you can already um, build your own software. Now, if you
Mhm.
have your innovative ideas for business, you observe one unmet need and you find a creative way to solve it, you are in better position than before to do that.
Mhm.
So AI is the empowering technology that help you to stand out and help you um, to be more impactful. Now, there are people who are not good at using AI and people
Mhm.
who are good at using AI. And those are the differences. Um, if you are, I mean, one story goes, if you are chased by a bear, um, you only need to run faster than your peers,
The rest,
right?
the rest. Yeah,
The
yeah.
rest.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, great. Yeah, so thank you for sharing. So there's parents ask questions. Like which grade level? Basically, what year? Like, is best for them to reach you guys, your team. So they are high
Yeah.
school because we have parents came here like they were 9th, 10th. So just ask
Yeah.
questions like for career
Mhm.
planning. When is the
Mm.
best time to contact you guys?
Yeah, I think um last year or the second to the last year will be good. I mean, you can talk to me whenever because um I guess I'm not very familiar with the high school admission here or like a college admission. I don't know like uh, you probably will choose different subjects during high school to get
Yeah,
admitted to the
college.
college. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah. I
earlier the
think the best.
better.
Yeah, but I think the best time if the kids is like they finish application,
Mm,
right? They have the schoolwork don't waste like don't occupy their whole time. They can talk to Dyson and the team because Dyson himself only focus on the tech and the investing and then the consulting. That's his strength. For example, the
yeah.
investment banking he mentioned that he's not the domain expert. He has other colleagues can help. So I think for the
Mm,
parents because give example. So for the parents who ask questions, I there's a parent who just like a schedule 1-on-1 paid interview paid consulting with me. His son actually is a ED0 U Chicago. Okay, like
mm,
he just say, okay. I said, why would you come to me without like the result out? I think it's within a couple of weeks, and then come to me if you got rejected by U Chicago. What if you got in? And the mom said, no, 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 it's too late. I feel like his essay is terrible. Like I don't think he did a good job, right? Like I needed to. You told me what was the ED1 school I should apply to if I got rejected by U Chicago. So we worked together. We picked the school. We rewrite the essay structure, whatever. And then he came back. She came back. She doing my live streaming on Thursday, and then she said, "Thank you, Ben. The advice very useful. Even though I didn't use it, I got into U Chicago because that's good, right? That's good news." And then right after she asked me, "So Ben, so what should I do?" So my kid now
mm.
already had an offer way earlier than my friends. Like, what do you do? What should I do? So that's why I was like, back then I didn't think of that Dyson because in the live streaming, so many questions I didn't realize she should let her son talk to you. So because that kid is only good at study. When I ask him, what's your passion? What are you good at it? He has no
Yeah.
idea. He
Yeah.
has trouble
Yeah.
to write an essay. He just repeat whatever activity highlighted because his mom spent a lot of money to go through a lot of programs activity list because the family is pretty affluent. So the immigrant from
Yeah.
Shanghai to a private
Oh,
school here. So
yeah.
yeah, I think yeah, thank you for the question. I will connect Dyson with their parents because that kid's first of all, he's very good looking. So a boy, like very good looking. As a male myself, I told mom, I said your son gonna have trouble in college because there's so many girls gonna chase after her. Like so super good looking. And I said, but like he has trouble because he just being
Yeah.
very nice, very polite, but like he didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
When I asked like
Yeah.
what's the most impressive aspect about your life, like whatever, I just asked question like he had no idea. He's just school, home, sports, school, summer activities. That's it. His life is super simple.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
why I was like, no, that's not good for you. Like you should do something. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think for parents like this, if your kid is very good at schoolwork, which means he's smart, or he's very
Yeah.
dedicated. So if you finish your qualification, because I don't know if you have enough time during the high school. So mainly Dyson focus on kids who graduate like senior years
Hmm.
or like freshmen, like that's the best time to get started, like how to land an internship, because all his teammates can refer you some of the jobs and or help you to narrow down the specific industry offer the internship for high school or college kids. So yeah, I will
Yeah.
connect you. So talk to your counselors. I give them the contact so they get connected with the guys so you guys can talk in details. So
Thank
that's no,
you.
thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Ben.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for the
Yeah. My
share. I know you
pleasure.
just finish you just finish the work. So so sorry for
Yeah.
keep you
No
for so late.
worries.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
no
We're
worries.
gonna
Yeah.
see you next time in Chinese ones. Okay. See you.
Great. Great. Yeah.